This meeting is so Open Public Meeting Act 10:4-6 Esquire. Annual notice having been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the New Jersey Sunday Herald, posted in the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcements. Please join me in the salute of flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almost silent.
Roll call?
Yes. Mr. Chirilla,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Catamaran,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Councilman Kuzovich, Mr. Bezalowski,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien, Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Wagner, Mayor Galati, Chairman Wright.
Here.
Oh, sorry. I saw you here.
See you later. Okay, we have no resolutions, no correspondence.
We're not going to do the minutes because we have some corrections on the minutes, so we're going to postpone the minutes to the next meeting.
No escrow refunds. Should we pay the bills? We have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Chirilla,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Catamaran,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Mr. Bezalowski,
Yes.
Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Galati.
Yes.
Discussions? Any old business? Any new business? We have no continued applications, so let's go to new application. Sandra Georgie, block 31603, lot 1 and 8, 8 Oneida Ave.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Benkendorf from the law firm of Baskin and Hooker, located in Sparta, New Jersey. I'm here this night representing Sandy Georgie regarding the property at 8 Oneida Avenue. It's block 31603, lots 1 and 8. But before we proceed on this application, there are two things that I need to make note of. Number one, we received correspondence from Mr. McGovern. He is an attorney in Newton who represents Echo Cove Homeowners Association. I believe it's a homeowners association. They have some concerns with our application. Mr. McGovern and I started communicating last week, but we didn't come to a resolution. He's still communicating some potential settlement negotiations with them. Any decision that the board made tonight, if the board looked kindly upon our application, would have to be made subject to a conditional approval that Echo Cove and my client reached some sort of a resolution. The lake is everyone's. We want everybody to be able to use it, and we believe that there is some common ground that we can meet with respect to that. Now, set that issue aside. Unfortunately, Mr. Donegan, and I know that he's working hard and he's always doing his job. He provided us this evening with some more variances for the boathouse that is currently proposed. And I don't feel comfortable going through the application without having some more time to review those variances. I don't like bringing applications before the board without full knowledge of what I'm asking the board for. And I feel like it wouldn't be fair to the board, and it certainly wouldn't be fair to me, and it wouldn't be fair to my client if we proceeded without us understanding what these variances are for and seeing if we could cut back something. Initially, when we prepared the application, it was with the understanding that there may only be 1 or 2 variances with the boathouse. But now, having spoken with Mr. Donegan, there's quite a few. So I think it would be prudent for us to go back to the drawing board, take a look at this application and see if we can reduce some of these variances. The standards for variances are great, and so as a result, I think that would be appropriate. So I'd like this matter to be carried to the next available date. 1, so that we can negotiate with Echo Cove, and 2, so that we can continue to pursue fewer variances for the boathouse if possible. So that's what I'm asking for.
Do we have a motion to carry this?
How does our calendar look?
I would have March 18th or April 1st or April 15th.
Either of those dates will work for me.
Well, yeah, pick one.
Oh, let's go with the April one.
April first,
Yeah,
okay,
April 1st, so it would be a motion to carry the application. We're hearing without further notice. This application was filed a long time ago, and there was litigation that resolved. There's a court order I looked at in the file, and it looks like everything that was done on the applicant's plans is consistent with, as far as I can see, with that court order. So I think that's fine, but we're going to carry this, Mr. Benkendorf, for completeness with your consent, so that we can make sure that we have the variances properly itemized and noticed, and we can.
okay, so you're saying with notice because of the new variances?
Well, you know, if there's a lot of new variances, I think you've got to notice those.
Okay,
let's just do the March 8th. Can we do the March 18th?
You tell
date?
me.
And the only reason why I'm suggesting that is just if we had to push it, we could, but we can't go back. So let's do the March 18th date.
With notice.
But you're going to have to notice if there's.
We will notice.
Okay.
We understand that.
Okay.
Based on all of these variances, we're going to have to notice.
okay.
No question.
So we need a motion to carry it with notice.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Mr. Sherlock,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Kamic,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Mr. Mazaluski,
Yes.
Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Galati.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you very much with respect to that application. So I'm here for the work session on the next. Sorry, so let me grab my file.
That's convenient.
Busy boy.
I understand it's gonna be put off to March 18th. I live at the top of the property, have the right of way that they have to use my property to get down. And I just want you guys to look at the right of way,
Okay,
you
now,
take it into your consideration and make copies.
Please make sure, no, because the hearing hasn't started tonight. I hope you can come back March
Oh,
18th.
definitely.
Yeah, because we haven't started the hearing, so we can't accept exhibits. That would be inappropriate until the
Okay.
hearing starts. So please be prepared to come to the next meeting.
No problem.
And feel free to give the information you have there, Mr. Benkendorf, so
Oh,
that
you-
you can resolve some issues before you come.
I'm just
Where'd you find
concerned
that,
with the
John?
right of way right
On,
now.
Perhaps he can address that
Yeah.
with you. between
Zillow?
now and,
Well, either that or
March 18th.
Google, Google Earth.
That would be
All right.
helpful.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Here, if you'd like, I can write my name and number down. You give me a call tomorrow. I can discuss everything with you. Do you have an attorney?
It was on Zillow, Andy.
Oh,
Zillow,
then I'll be
thanks.
speaking with Frank. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hold
Hold
on, hold on. Don't give me anything. Let me talk to your attorney, just to be safe, okay? It's better than this.
There's a boathouse.
No, I understand. Let me speak with Mr. McGovern. I don't want you to give me any information that you shouldn't by accident or something, so. Yeah, let me talk to Mr. McGovern.
No, this is on the
All right,
outside.
thank you so much.
See, is that nice having one of these here? Makes it a lot easier.
Can you guys just bring it to Judy? Apparently she.
We share with Judy.
You know what? Makes life easier.
Well, you know, when you can see the property, it's just,
Well, I usually.
the original gentleman's.
I like to do that.
But I don't like. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Sorry, bring it back.
No, nobody
We
has
might
to.
wanna have a.
if you ever want, I'll give you an arm vest
Where it's all about grants. Okay, I think it's a good
and a brand new car.
Just to kind of go over everything. We found out that the title company found out that Mr. McGovern has, so you talk about that.
Okay, that's good.
Recently.
You have
He's
American
doing a
Red
good
Pencil?
I do. Which,
Can
what,
Malanga.
yes,
Can
you
I
take.
just, yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill.
All right.
Nice.
So we get copies of-
George always had
You
style.
have the two copies. There's just one other
Here's
set
my
that
teacher.
they're looking at.
DE.
That, yep. Look, this. There's two. One.
All right.
I'm giving you all this back.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't finish that.
Bill, it's not, I understand, we're all going 100 miles an hour, my man. I get it, I get it. I
Okay,
just,
so we're doing,
you know, there are standards
That
that I
one.
have to meet.
yes.
And I would be doing disservice to my client if I tried to put those standards on without having a chance to look at them. You understand?
Go
All right,
ahead.
we ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
It's a nice shot.
Yes.
One more.
Ladies and
That might
gentlemen,
have
Danny
been
Lake, New York
Google.
again, from Askin Hooker, located in Sparta, New Jersey. I'm here this evening with the applicant American Red Crescent. here on
Excuse
the-
us, I'm sorry, folks. I can't hear the gentleman. I apologize.
Here on their behalf is Kaiser Pathan. He's the, how are you associate, Mr. Pathan, would you stand up? Please raise your right hand.
No,
We don't have
it's
to.
formal, so we
Oh.
won't be swearing in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, very good.
And how are you affiliated with?
I'm the president.
The president, and that's a corporation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case I need to look to you for some. All right, so 402 River Styx Road, it's block 30315, lot 2. It's a 13,867 square foot lot in the B1 zone, a retail business zone. It's currently undeveloped. The last time we were before the board was July of 2023, and when we came before the board, with an application for somewhat of a convenience / coffee shop. And you were able to drive around the store and maybe order through one window and pick up at another window, or it was order and pick up at one window. And there were concerns. There were two primary concerns. One was, had we thought about maybe turning it into a residential type property and running it off of Leicester Road?
Little Chester.
Little Chester Road. And the other concern was that maybe NJDOT would, or excuse me, the county would have a problem entering onto River Styx. We needed to check those site distances. So with respect to that second concern, we have the plans from the county, and they've approved the site distances out of that location with the plans that we presented to the board. I have those here and I'll pass them around. I'll keep one and I'll pass the rest out.
Is that the same plan that we've seen in 2023?
Yes, that's the same plan. It's just with what the board wanted to see with respect to the county. And the county was okay with it. So we also went back to the drawing board, and we had two sets of plans regarding residential housing. One, I think, was a bit much for the property. It was 6 proposed townhomes. I think it was a bit much, but we presented it so that the board could see what it looked like. Again, I only got these plans, I think, 2 days ago, so I haven't had much time with them, but I'd like the board to consider them and review them and give me their opinion about those. Again, I think they might be a bit much, but we really took to heart what the board considered regarding the residential properties, and so these were there were 8 units in this plan, and this was off Little Chester Road. You can pass those around. And then finally, we took the same set, nearly the identical set of plans that we had submitted to the board initially with, and addressed some of the concerns that the board had regarding the convenience store. And I have those to pass around as well. You might already have a copy of these, to be honest.
I think we should have lettered them or something.
We can do that, absolutely. So first, we'll do the proposed townhomes as A1.
Can you show us which document?
Yeah, so it's, it looks like that.
Yellow?
It's the first
They're all
one that I
yellow.
gave, yep, it's yellow,
The first one?
yep, and it says proposed 6 townhouses on it.
And we're gonna document that A1.
I only have this one.
It's here.
There might be some extras.
All right.
All right, and then,
So Counselor, A1, correct?
yes,
All
sir.
right.
This is A1.
First one that he gave us was
Yep.
this.
Yeah.
And then,
This one. It's the one with the,
This is
No,
A1.
that wasn't the first one.
Says proposed 6 on the bottom.
and then there's a 8-unit residential building, we'll do that as
Well.
A2.
No.
Amy, when you're done marking, can I see what you have so I can know which,
And then the commercial's gonna be A3.
that one's gonna be what, A1 or
A1 and A2.
okay, and eight, let me see, two
That's
is
A2.
two, okay, this
And the,
is,
and the,
A1 is the proposed townhouses.
and the stapled one is A3.
Yep.
okay,
A3. And then the county approval is gonna be A4.
which one is this?
I didn't know what that is. And then the county approval is to be A4.
Staples A3,
Mhm.
all right,
And then the county approval is gonna be A4.
it's gonna be
Four.
A4.
Everybody good?
Hope so. Does this A4 now? Or-
Yes.
All right.
You guys a chance to take a look at it. I wanted to point out some things regarding, so our initial application, A3, it required 3 variances. The variances were for lot area, lot width, and lot coverage. Lot area was 13,867 is requested. That's gonna be, essentially, that's gonna be a variance for any of the applications because there's a lot area requirement except for the residential, which is 15,000 square feet. Then there's lot width, it's 115 feet, we have 75 feet. And then it's lot coverage, it's 65%, and we had 66.6% on the original application. Those were the 3 variances that we initially did. And that's when we came before the board, and the board suggested that we look into residential units and also talk to the county. That was a drive-through. The clients would enter off of River Styx Road. They'd go to the right, they drive around the building, they'd come to a window. They would order at that window. They would then continue around the building and pick up on the opposite side of the building and then pull out of the parking lot. And that also included 8 spots, parking spots as well.
Did you say what type of storage?
And again, one of the big concerns was whether or not the county was gonna be okay with having the exit and entrance where it was and whether or not the sight lines would work. So we made sure of that.
Counselor, did you say there was gonna be a drive-through?
There is a drive-through, yes. Yep.
And
You'll
what was
notice it, there's arrows. If you look at the arrows,
on A3 now?
yeah, on A3, they show you the way that you're gonna traverse the property.
And what type of business is proposed?
Coffee shop, convenience store, something of the nature.
Okay, thank you.
The only parking I see is the 5 parking spaces, that's all for parking.
That is correct, yes.
Is there a handicap spot there too?
There is a handicap spot. It's directly in front of the building. You'll notice a big X through one of the spots. That's the handicapped access right there.
So there's 8 parking spots total.
There's 8 parking spots total, that's correct. And I think we were gonna need like 1 or 2 EV spots to make up for the difference that we needed for the parking. But it didn't require a parking variance.
What are you proposing now? What are you?
Oh, so, okay, yeah, so that was A3, that's what we originally proposed, and so we went back to the drawing board, and we had 2 separate residentials prepared for this evening. A1 is the 6 townhomes. Mr. Mathan, because I didn't have much time to review this specific one, do you wanna go through that one with the board?
All right, good.
No, I don't, is this the driveway? Okay, so these are driveways for each townhome. Okay, all right. So this plan provides for access directly to the townhomes right off Lilchester Road. So you'll notice that there's driveways for each one. with one car parking, and then is there going to be a garage? Yep, all right. There will be a garage, so that's 2 cars per unit. And you'll notice the bedroom number is labeled there as well. And this plan itself requires from what I see, 4 variances.
Well, this is the B1 zone, so residential housing isn't permitted in the zone. I think we talked about that, but. Is
But the
that-
board, I think, yeah, Mr. Hagerty, I agree. So let me clarify, yes, we would have to get a variance for that.
Mhm.
But I think the board requested that they wanted to see residential in this spot because of the access from River Styx. So we wanted to make sure the board got some ideas of what we might be able to do
Yes.
and what they wanted to look at. So that's why we prepared them. We would really like to go with our original application. But unfortunately, it just seemed like maybe we should present something else, so that's what we're doing tonight. If the board has any questions, please feel free to ask.
Maybe it's not related, but my brother again has some experience running apartment buildings, and typically when he looks, he'll say, okay, it's likely that people will be moving in with children. Where do the children play? Because it looks pretty tight. Garbage, where is garbage? I would imagine it would have to be enclosed for animals and things like that.
Sure.
Are you expecting each house to have their own washer dryer or
Yes.
Okay,
The garbage cans and these plans would be kept in the garage, and each unit would have to bring their garbage cans out, it would be picked up.
and how many parking spots per unit?
And there's 1 parking spot outside and there's 1 parking spot in the garage.
And are
So
there,
it's
is there
2
any
total.
guest parking at all?
It does not appear so in these plans, no.
Okay.
So, but again, these are new plans to me.
I know, it's just the
I
things
understand.
that kind of.
And I don't see a spot for kids to play with respect to the proposed 6 townhouses.
I know when we were kids, we played in the street,
Right.
you know,
Things have
people
changed.
get upset these days.
Luckily, it's a dead end road there, Little Chester Road, so.
Okay.
It's right behind there is a play field right there.
Oh,
DPW.
The skating rink.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
Okay.
there's a park there.
so, I mean, they could.
And there's
play
still a
there.
turkey
Okay,
mound, I
We're
believe.
not providing one, but it's there,
Okay.
a tax stop, his tax stop.
And they'll be provided with the sewer.
I don't believe there is, but does Hackathon have an affordable housing set aside?
Yeah, we have to double check that and see.
I don't think it's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think we do, but I would, if proposing residential. we'd have
Right.
to
Yeah,
check that.
we would comply with COA,
Mhm.
yes, there's no way out of that one.
Mhm.
They're changing the laws as fast as we can read them and draw up plans to accompany them, so, yeah, we get it.
I'm trying to figure out your A2, you've got.
Yep.
8 units, how many bedrooms and what's the storage ratio?
Yeah, so A2 unit, you wanna go through that, each unit?
Yeah.
Those
Part of it is something about it.
3 stories.
3 stories.
And sewers.
2 stories,
Says 3 on A2.
And then you want to utility.
Yeah, it's actually 3.
is it going to be 3 stories?
Your document says 3 stories.
35 feet max building height, okay. Alright, I don't believe there's 3 stories of livable space, so if there is a basement, it would in fact be
No, there would
storage.
be no basement.
Okay, no basement then, we can confirm that,
They say they can just, so you know.
Have we
understood.
put this in
You've
so
only
we'll
got a
be
few
more
spaces.
liable
it
to give
looks
him
like,
the
for that
store.
proposal.
looks like he
I
had
don't really
rather
see
have
how
Oh,
that
this is
works.
an either or on this.
Yeah, and it's
It's stacked parking. Again, we tried to work in the residential units, it's just a tight lot. So we did the best that we could. If the board has suggestions, we can go back to the drawing board and in a different manner and present something a little bit different.
Speak for the board, but I don't think the board's gonna be favoring stacked parking.
Okay, yeah, that would be a design waiver request too.
And how would those apartments be? Would they be like one above the other? Is that what it is? On A2?
That's my understanding, yes.
These
Would
are,
be- It would be, A1 would be on the first floor, A2 would be on the second floor.
They're
and these are the
townhouses.
Stairs that would use it, correct?
Top and low, up and down.
It's an apartment building.
I wouldn't
How
know
many
what this
bedrooms
one-
this is townhouses on the readout.
It's in a-
This one was,
Is he saying there's a multiple family, upper and a lower?
to me personally, I don't see enough parking for your A2.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah, I don't, again,
Your A2, I don't think is gonna fly in any way, shape or form.
okay,
I think you're on the right track here with the A1.
okay.
I think you're on the right track there versus a commercial building. That's my own opinion.
And with respect to A1, how does the board feel about the access onto Little Chester Road with multiple driveways as opposed to pull in and park?
Well, it's a dead end, so it's not a traffic issue, but
I think it'd be better than getting on the river Styx.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
But the issue of undeveloped road, I'm not familiar with this.
it's a
area.
developed, it's paved
Okay,
right to the shoulder where there's I apologize, there's about a 15-foot median between the end of Little Chester and River Styx Road.
okay. And would that ever connect at any point? or-
It's not.
Okay.
It never has been, to my memory. And I have a long memory.
That's because you're old.
Well, after driving the streets in this town for 24 hours a day.
And there is a park there. Is there anything else that the board might want to see on A1 that would make it more appealing?
Even with the four, parking is an issue as far as, from what you're saying, there's only, it can only accommodate 2 cars, one in the garage and one on the street.
Right, and your concern, I think, was where do guests park?
No, that wasn't mine. It was another.
Oh,
Bill would know
okay,
better than me.
if those 2 spots were taken up, okay.
Well, because people have people over for holidays, I know I
Sure.
do.
But I think that's have to be affordable.
12 people in my driveway.
Makes complete sense, I understand.
People tend to fill their garage with things and not have them.
And not use it for
parking.
I think that would be better.
How many people keep their cars in the garage anymore?
Or bikes and everything else.
Exactly.
There's one of them.
So, I'm kind of like the new
That's
person here, so I'll ask the cringe
You gotta look down the
question.
road.
Does it have to be 6 units or could it be 5, where one of the units gets repurposed to deal with some of the issues regarding?
And that's what I have to talk to the engineer about, when I go back and we have our conference, we'll talk to them about that and see if we can maybe do that. Repurpose one of the units for parking or increase the size of the garage. Maybe there's a, because I don't have the architecturals, but maybe there's a bedroom down there next to the garage, right, which we could turn into additional parking for the garage. So you could pull 2 cars in and then have 1 spot for guests in their actual driveway. So we might be able to work something like that out. Let me see if that's feasible. And then that would be essentially 3 cars per unit, which would be well over the parking requirement for the residential lot. So I will look into that.
This is just a free exchange of ideas between the board
Right.
and the.
Like I said, that was just my opinion.
Nothing-
That was just my opinion.
It's not about, it's just.
No, yeah, I want to hear what you have to say.
Just going back
Yeah.
to the A3 drawing,
Oh,
there's A3, which was the commercial building that you would drive through. And you would enter and exit off of River
somebody I
Styx.
know. Oh, I don't.
That just has the 8 parking spaces, which I wrote. There's obviously no room to put any other parking space, but with the size of the building, where
90.
where
Oh,
else would,
Who's my teacher?
I'm just
also?
thinking, where
Good
else would
man.
people be able to park other than along the one side of River Styx where it goes into Richards Road? And I would hate to see people parking over there to get into that area. But I'm just thinking, if you have that big of a commercial building and it's busy, people need to be able to park. I don't know what exactly would be through the drive-through.
And the employees have to park.
And the
too.
employees have to park too. I love the idea of the commercial building myself. But I'm just wondering where people would park is my only concern.
Yeah, I think the size of the commercial building was based on, we couldn't fit any more parking even if we decreased the size of it. Because you still had to pull in. And so we left the building that size as a result of that. That was my understanding based on conversations with the engineer, and turning radiuses, obviously.
I guess the one thing I think about morning queues is not just the cars that are in your space, but how they queue up behind them, not intending to park, but just idling to get in. Is that an issue here? You know what I mean? Like, say you have a space within the property for 12 circular cars. I don't know what it actually is.
Right,
But let's assume it's wildly popular. You now have 30 people.
like
queuing.
the Starbucks in Sparta.
Exactly.
I completely understand what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
so what would be your thinking?
No, I think that's a great question, and that's something that I will definitely talk to the engineer about.
And there's no shoulder.
That's that, yeah.
No shoulders.
So in order to get out of a pack-on, everybody must buy coffee.
I get it, I get it.
But your inclination is residential, it sounds like from what you've been saying tonight. Is that what your client's thought process is, or are they still pursuing a potential commercial use?
We love the commercial use. This is what we would really like to do here. But we wanted to present multiple sets of plans to see where the board's mindset was at. And so far, I think A3, some people would like to see it, but we need more parking. It looks like, and not just that, but where do cars, kind of wait in line? So maybe we can move the actual order location to the back so that there's more parking, or not parking, but pull through where people can kind of wait to order. And then at A1, it seems like you might be open to the idea as long as we provide more parking. And I think we might be able to address that, but I have to see the architecturals. So that's what I'm getting from both of these. So I'll go back, I'll talk to the client, and we'll discuss both of these options in further detail, and maybe we can come up with some architecturals.
How would you take deliveries on the A3, truck deliveries?
They would be.
Where would they go?
Yeah, so they would be
Good
staggered,
question.
and they would be designed so that they come at off hours that they were not regularly operating, or alternatively, hours that they didn't have high in output, that there weren't a lot of clients coming in and out. One of the reasons why my client really likes the drive-through is because people are in and out, they're not parking. And I know there's a spot, it's on the other side of Lake Hopatcong. It has the best breakfast sandwiches in the world. And there's you gotta park across the street if you wanna park at that place when you're heading toward Morristown or something. And it would be awesome if they had a pull through that I could just pick up a breakfast sandwich and a coffee on my way to Morris County Court. I don't know if you guys know the place. It's across the street. There's this big giant building that's now built there. It's like a farm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
What street
Well,
is
there's
it
this
on?
little deli there, and they have this awesome sandwiches, awesome breakfast sandwiches, but you have to park across the street in front of this rock wall, and it's super dangerous. And I think that this pull around, if they had something like that there, that would be great. And so I feel like this worked here because you're able to do something.
So that wasn't
gonna be
looking ahead
ordering
there, that's what happened there.
Sandwiches to actually cook on site and then drive around.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I'm using that as a potential, right, as a
No, I
reference.
understand that. I'm just kind
Yeah,
of like.
I mean, when you walk into that place, they have pre-made sandwiches. You grab a sandwich, you grab your coffee, you're out.
Right.
It's really nuts. I don't know exactly what they would be doing here. Whatever would be permitted by the business zone.
Because the ordering window, or is it a electronic
device or, right?
Phone, that's what it's talking about.
And I think it's gonna be dependent on the tenant. Right, so,
He's not gonna be the tenant.
he might not be the tenant, or he might be the tenant, we don't know yet. We're just trying to find something that fits this lot, which is a hair undersized.
Counselor, this abuts a residential zone, right? And there's houses
There are.
in very close proximity. So I know this is probably way ahead, putting the
Cart
before the
horse.
cart before the horse, but hours of operation and then, headlights at 3 a.m, 12 o'clock at night affecting the residential zone.
There will be significant landscape buffering around the property. And we will talk about hours of operation. At our last application, we did discuss that. And I'm pretty sure there are trees around this lot already. There's pretty good forest area around it.
But how far is the next residential dwelling?
I don't know, we'll have to look, I'll have to look at that. Maybe
It's right
get some
across the street.
aerial views.
It's on this.
It's right across from Little Chester Road, right across the street.
Those, yes, yeah.
It was Bucky's house.
Well, on River Styx, you do have their practices that are across the street on River Styx too.
The house across the street already has the auto park
Yes,
place,
yes,
so-
because it is already a commercial.
Yeah. No, but it's about point.
Very
If there's more
We,
business than
we
Right.
kind of like
what they were used to.
tried to get him to go away. The last time I was
Do you have
here,
your guidance, Mr.
people that live there. aren't gonna like it.
Anything else?
It's
And
gonna
then
I know it's a
interfere with the
lot.
And
quality
then your
of life.
engineer will
Right.
provide like tree, plans for like fire truck, garbage truck.
Absolutely, yeah, down Rochester, yeah, but I mean, it is a public road, I imagine they're able to pull down that.
They'll have to back
For the
down.
commercial
Right.
building.
Oh, for the commercial,
Yeah,
yeah, that, he did provide that in the original plans.
Okay.
Yeah, that was provided, because that was a big concern.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that, Mr. Rush, is it Mr. Rushkey? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that he asked for that before we even came before the board the last time.
Okay.
So we should have already provided that.
Some of us are new, so we don't have it.
Understood. No, I'll make sure. Yep. I mean, we gotta pick one or the other, so we'll go back and we're gonna talk about it tonight and figure out which one seems to work best. But does the board kind of have an idea of what they think might be best there? Is it A1 or is it A3?
It's showing.
And again, I'm not holding anybody to anything.
I think it's a little mixed.
I think it's a little mixed because where this location is, it's a commercial lot and it actually, for me, pulls together the two business districts. You have the center of town where Hopatchong and River Styx are, which is where we are. But then you also have the sidewalk, which takes you into River Styx, which is another business district. This would now be another commercial active business that people can walk from one end to the other end.
Got it.
So that's what I see as an alluring prospect of something like this. I like the idea of the A1 also, because it does take everything and put it in a nice neat little package. But I have my concerns about, again, I think of the added resources, to a town. A commercial building, they're responsible for their own garbage, their own snow, their own things, whereas A1 makes the municipality responsible for new things. But that's only my opinion.
Did you say the height was 35 feet? Was that-
That was A2.
A2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be.
I imagine it would be whatever is permitted, and if not permitted, in that zone, it would be. I'm looking at it. Yeah, 35. Yep, it's just 2.5 stories there.
32, I think.
And I think it's the same in commercial zone too.
Yeah. That's what it looks like on here. So we would request a use variance if we had to, for the residential.
Well,
All All right, thank you so much for your time this evening. We really appreciate it. Thank you to the last application as well. We'll go back, Mr. Donegan, take a look at that, see if we can reduce some of those variances. And I guess we'll be back in March. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, everyone.
At this time, we're gonna open the meeting to the public. Anybody want to say anything? Nobody?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We all get to go over this.
Oh, yeah. we wanna-
We did receive, thank you. Short deal. We did receive a decision from the court on Scabetti. This was a long time coming. This litigation involved Rob Scabetti, the son of the applicant. Variance application to add a second level to what essentially is a boathouse. Very, very small lot. And initially, the court determined that the applicant hadn't proved hardship, that in fact the place could be renovated. No hardship to use it now. But come back, if you can prove the benefits in granting the variance relief would substantially outweigh any detriments. He attempted to do that. He brought his engineer and planner in, you may recall. But the court determined that no, that there are detriments because of the size of the lot, that really non-existent setbacks, and on the fact that it's the benefit of the doubt. Frankly, it's not a new decision. The court is not supposed to look at the merits of its personal opinion in regard to an application, but whether the action of the board was arbitrary, capricious, or an abuse of discretion. The board determined that that was not the case, that the board had valid reasons to deny the relief. I spoke with the attorney last week, and he said, I'm not sure if I'm going to, he could appeal to the appellate division. Hopefully he won't, but he could. I'll keep you advised if I hear anything more about that. Right now it's not and it's a little tougher, of course, to appeal in the sense that you've got to, again, argue that the decision.
You gotta argue the hardship, and there really is none.
Yeah, you can't argue hardship because that's off the table. He didn't appeal that. He could have, but he didn't. So it's only on this benefits versus the detriments, and benefits would deal with community benefits,
you ever need
not
a
the
ride.
fact that he would prefer it himself, and it would make the property
I only work
potentially
3
more
days.
valuable for him, but what is the benefit zoning wise and for the community? So the court didn't see that that proof was established.
We're good at this point.
We're good at this point.
Is there a clock that runs out regarding
There is,
your appeal? I mean, if he
Again,
doesn't,
it would be 45 days from the date of the decision, which would have been a week ago.
so on the 46th day, if they say, oops, I forgot, we do not have to.
No, we don't have to do anything. It's up to the applicant to initiate if they're going to do something or not do something, so. But, you know, it's not free. He has to prepare transcripts and that whole thing, so it's not, it's his son, but still it's work. And I don't think the son is, he's not really a land use attorney, so, you know, it's a little tougher.
I'm sure he's a great divorce attorney.
Whatever. I expected that we were gonna have someone here tonight. We had a lot of emails and
Yes.
communications back and forth, and I'm a little bit surprised because he did indicate he was gonna come tonight, didn't
He was in the building today.
he? He was.
Yes,
He
today,
left.
with me.
Was Mount Trail,
Yeah, he came in and he gave, I put the packet on there for you
Mhm.
that he sent to me and he wanted it to be addressed tonight.
I was going to hand out, and I talked to Bill about it, I've got a dozen copies of a letter that was issued by the DEP, it's dated March 24th, 2020, 21, but it's 2021. And in the letter, it says the Division of Land Resource Protection has determined that state open waters, freshwater wetlands, and their associated transition areas are present on and adjacent to the reference property. This is from the DEP. So this has gone on since that letter, and I've played cat and mouse on this and sent this letter a number of times, saying that, you know, file for your letter of interpretation. They've said wetlands are there. We don't know the extent, and we can't overrule the DEP. So, you know, it's not in our.
When I said
jurisdiction.
he was in this afternoon, not tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I expected him tonight.
Yeah, me
based on the
too.
communication,
Yeah.
but he's not here, so if he comes, which he can, any member of the public can come and address the board, I will again have copies of this letter available and circulated. I don't know what more we can do.
The letter, you can give that to Amy and then we can all get it.
Yep.
So we all have it. Some of us are confronted a little bit more often than others.
Put it in the back in case he decides to come.
Here's some copies. Amy.
Oh, thank you.
No, see, yeah, you don't even.
Yeah, I don't even have to make a copy. He likes me.
Anything else?
Are you still recording?
Yeah, should I stop?
You probably should have, yeah.